You are looking live at Sold Out MetLife Stadium, where today the 16-0 New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Washington Commanders. Why the Washington Commanders 0-16? Because they suck. And welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening? Anybody at all? Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you. Or anybody spends any time at all watching any of this replay of this video here, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I greatly appreciate it. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, as I always try to do every night. Anybody got anything to say? Just throw in the chat box. I usually check on it, the chat box every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So anybody got anything to say? I always try to reply to anything gets put in there. So please feel free, fire away. Be my guest. Now, before I get started, anybody want to help support my channel? It would mean so much to me. I would greatly appreciate it. In the description box is a link. Okay, in the top link in this description box. I got 3 different membership levels. One's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. There's loyalty badges, which is pretty cool. There's emojis. I got 4 emojis. There'll be a 5th one coming out in the future as well. And those emojis, you can use them when you put something in the chat box or whatever. But yeah, it would mean so much to me. Anybody who helps support my channel. So thank you once again. Thank you. Then also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, right, please click the subscribe button below, right? And also hit the bell icon. That way, next time I go live or next time I put out a video or whatever, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. And just before I go on, I just hit 4,000 subscribers. I'm staring right at my subscribers right now. It's 4,000. Took a while. I've been doing this for, it's over a year and a half. Yeah, over a year. It was March of 2021 is when I started. So, it's been a while, but I'm up to 4,000 subscribers as of today. So that means so much to me. So anybody who's watching this who is subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. That means so much to me. And I can't wait till I get up to 5,000 subscribers. So we're on our way, right? And then also one more thing is that in the description box, I got there's like a couple links. One of them, okay, is there's a group, okay, that I run. Okay, it's called, oddly enough, it's called the Gridiron. All right. As of right now, there's over 1,800 members in the group. Okay, and what we try to do is each day, we put up at least 5, if not more, things in the group. Try to keep things fresh. I put stuff up 5, 6 different things every day, and also some people, because it's a group, people in the group post stuff as well too. So there's always at least 5 things, if not more, every day going up in the group. So please click on that link. Okay, it's the top link. There's for Facebook. The top one for the Facebook is the group. Okay, please click on that and become a member. And then also there's 2 additional links below that. Okay, I have there's 2 pages that I run. All right, one of them is called it's called the Gridiron. Oddly enough, okay, but the page. There's another page that I'm working on. I don't devote as much time to that as of now. Okay, it's called This Day in Giants Football History. Okay, or This Day in Giants History. All right, I'm going to be spending more and more time as time goes by on that one as well. But right now, I don't have as much time to devote to that as I would like to. But the first link for the page is called the Giants, called the Gridiron. Right now, we got 281 people who like it and 536 people following it. And I'll tell you what, every day, the followers just keep going, keep growing and growing and growing. And as I said, it's the same thing as in the group. I try not to mix. I try to keep things separate, right? Whatever I put in the page, I don't put in the group, vice versa, right? So, but I mean, same thing every day, in the page here. Okay, I put up, 5 to 10 different items every day. So there's always fresh stuff going in there every day. I always devote, between the YouTube channel, between the Facebook group and the Facebook page, I want to spend probably close to a couple hours every day just on that stuff there, right? So please click on the group, become a member of that. Click on the page, the New York Giants, the Gridiron, the page. Like that one, follow that one too. You won't be disappointed. Okay, new stuff going out there every day. All right. So now we got all that stuff out of the way. All right, now we got latest stuff going on here with Odell Beckham Jr. Now, there's one thing I hope I don't screw her name up, but Jacina Anderson, okay, has a cryptic tweet, all right, that possibly, I don't know where she's getting her information from. Everybody has their own sources out there, and all. Some people obviously are closer to Odell Beckham Jr. than other people are, okay, but Mrs. Anderson, all right, she has a tweet out there and kind of possibly implies, okay, that the Giants might be the front runners in landing Odell Beckham Jr., who went to the Giants today, right? He had dinner with them, okay. A little bit more on that in a second, but in this article here, okay, it says, could Odell Beckham be Odell Beckham with the New York Giants by the end of the week? Even though the Dallas Cowboys won the de facto Beckham Bowl with their Thanksgiving defeat of Big Blue. Dallas was supposedly the leader in the clubhouse entering the week, but on the eve of Beckham's Giants visit officially beginning, NFL insider Jacina, I'm going to say Anderson, her odd tweet seems to have the winds swirling in the opposite direction. Interesting. The wideout chase has been more trouble than it's been worth in recent weeks, according to this article. If Beckham does join either the Cowboys or the Giants, he'll be coming off an arduous rehab process and won't be expected to carry a number one load. In essence, Jerry Jones has been forced to defend the character of a third wideout for days now, following the Beckham's bizarre plane incident that briefly clouded talks between all interested parties. Now, if Anderson's implying that the Giants are surging into the lead thanks to the gale force winds in the New York City area, it might be best for the Cowboys to just leave it alone and take their extremely good team into the battle this postseason. So what her tweet, all right. So as I said, it sounds like the Giants, according to her, okay, now wherever she's getting her information from, who knows? As I said, it's a lot of people know a lot of different people and all and everything. So, but her tweet goes as follows. Mama always said when the big winds come in, that means a shift is coming. A transition is imminent, or it's time to reflect. Word is winds are howling hard in the New York area right now. So very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now it's going to be, after this is all said and done, but pretty much after the weekend's over with. We're going to look back at her tweet and going to go, whew, she knew what she was talking about. or whew, that girl was not, couldn't have been farther from the truth. But according to her, word is winds are howling hard in the New York area right now. So, as I said, I don't know who she knows or what or whatever it is, but we'll have to wind up waiting and seeing, okay? And it also says, imagine if Amari Cooper was simply still here, so nobody had to worry about this. What a nice feeling. Let that wash over you. I mean, I don't know. It just, they let Amari Cooper go, and now they're going after Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, who wants, a multi-year deal, right? So they let Amari Cooper go, okay, but they're going to be signing Odell Beckham Jr. I mean, maybe Amari Cooper would be getting maybe a little bit more money, but I mean, Odell Beckham wants, he's just not, it's not like, oh, just sign me for the rest of the year and I'm good. No, he wants this year and he wants at least next year. He wants a payday. Right. So, I mean, the Cowboys let Amari Cooper go. I mean, right. I mean, as good as the Cowboys are, can you imagine if they had Amari Cooper? Whew. But so I'll just have to wind up waiting and seeing. Because the Cowboys released Terrell Basham on Tuesday, creating a roster space for who, or just creating more speculation. Jones has been commenting on Beckham, right, which is the kind of thing you only do if you're in the lead of a free agency chase, or if you're Jerry Jones, who thrives on this kind of stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. And yet, here comes Anderson swirling winds, picking up their pace just ahead of Beckham's plane touching down at East Rutherford, New Jersey. If it ever gets off the ground, that is. So we'll have to wait and see. Very, very interesting now. So as I said, I don't know, who she knows or whatever, but, that's to be putting something like that out, kind of interesting, what I mean? And it's, as I said, I don't know who she knows, but I mean, if you're tweeting something like that, I mean, certainly doesn't mean she's going to be right, but we'll have to wait and see. Kind of makes things kind of interesting because he came in today, okay. They took him to dinner and all, and I believe I got another article or so here I'm going to go over. I believe that tomorrow he's going to do some type of like a physical with the team. Okay, so the Giants are the only team that he's spending 2 days with. Apparently, what I'm reading, now I'm going to go over this in just a second. Spending Thursday and Friday with the Giants. Friday night, I believe he's going to Buffalo to talk to the brass there. Okay. Then apparently Monday he's going to the Cowboys. Now, if there's somebody else too, like I also saw, maybe he might be San Fran. I'll tell you what, San Fran, they got a good defense. They just got McCaffrey. They're not a phenomenal juggernaut as far as offense. I mean, that's why if they can get somebody like Odell Beckham Jr. in there, that would really help them. So I have to wait and see. I mean, because the 49ers with their defense, they could, I mean, you put Odell Beckham Jr. on there. I mean, he's not going to be the number one guy, but I'll tell you what, to put him out there, get him out there, for at least half the snaps of the game or so, create some attention, right, from the defense, be huge. The same thing like with the Giants, just to get somebody on the field for the Giants, okay, somebody that the defense has got to worry about, okay, because when the Giants are just lining up and it's got Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, you got Chris Myrick, Richie James, Sills, and Hodgins, and it's like you really don't have many people out there scaring you, especially in the wide receiver position, right? So I mean, that's why if somehow they could sign Odell Beckham Jr., that would certainly would help. Would help. Okay, do they need more than just Odell Beckham Jr.? Yeah, but I mean, it would certainly help them. Okay. All right, now we got Odell Beckham Jr. not planning to work out. Okay, he's not working out for any of the teams. All right. Months in the making, Odell Beckham Jr.'s free agency tour will begin Thursday with a Giants visit. Beckham will depart Friday. Beckham will depart for Buffalo, where perhaps his most pivotal meeting with Dallas, which is set for Monday. Okay. These visits will not involve any Beckham workouts. who notes the 8-year veteran wide receiver is not planning to audition for any of the 3 teams he will visit. While marquee free agents visiting teams are not working out is nothing new. They don't always do that. Beckham plan will place a greater emphasis, though, on the interested team's medical evaluations. All right, so, he's been cleared to play, but that's kind of pretty much by his doctors and all. All right, so, obviously, it's the same thing like what the Giants did with like Kenny Golladay, right? Remember, he came in and they had him here. And they had to go through a physical, and the Giants paid him, but they did the due diligence on him. They want to make sure that everything was okay, that he wasn't injured, that he could play, and all and everything. And right, so it's not so much maybe what the guy can do, right? But if he passing the team physical. Would you wind up being huge? All right, so we'll have to wind up wait and see about that. All right, and we got here. Giants wine and dine Odell Beckham Jr. to start the wide receivers free agent visit. Odell Beckham Jr. kicked off on Thursday evening with a sit-down dinner with the team's brass on the first leg of the wide receivers free agent tour, sources said. Now, the thing is, the nice thing, okay, is that what the Giants have going for them, okay? Now, obviously, one thing that, maybe don't have is, especially a boatload of money. There's all kinds of ways you can get around that, where maybe you can get away with, not having a huge salary cap number this year with the Giants, though. But you can sign up, obviously, for next year and all. But the one thing the Giants have, okay, going on there, so, Shep's going to be there, okay? Saquon's going to be there, right? 2 of his closest, maybe his 2 closest buddies, right, are still here. Atlanta and Collins, okay, will be here as well, too, okay? So, right? This is where he got drafted. This is kind of like home to him, okay? The guys were the people, for the most part, okay, that rubbed him wrong, that rubbed him the wrong way, or a lot of the guys that were here that kind of maybe did him wrong in his mind, okay, aren't here, okay. Mr. Mara, I just from reading and all that and everything, he seems like he wouldn't mind having Odell be here, maybe to finish out his career, or at least get a second stint in New York City. Okay. However, now, he might want that, but let's not forget, he kind of given up the keys to the ranch to Joe Schoen. This is Joe Schoen's call. Okay. I understand Mr. Mara. He might have a little input on this, possibly, but, as I said, let's not forget, okay, the keys to the castle are in Joe Schoen's hands. All right, he's it's his ship. He's running the ship. All right, if he thinks he's got to work the numbers out, right? But so this is kind of up to him. I don't know, just a little, because what the Giants are trying to do here, okay, trying to build their foundation, right? They got the new coaching staff and the new GM, and everything is here. Sometimes bringing in somebody like Odell Beckham Jr., who creates a lot of attention, okay, not only on the field but also off the field. I'm not exactly sure if that's how the Giants wanted to go in that direction, but we'll have to wait and see. They brought him in, so there's got to be some interest there. All right. Now, after, let's say, he's supposed to fly north to see the Buffalo Bills later Friday and then travel south to visit the Cowboys on Monday, okay, after the weekend is over. But the one thing there, okay, is with the Bills, their pass rusher, Von Miller, okay, Beckham's very good friend, was placed on IR reserve on Thursday. Oh, that reminds me. No. I wonder. I was watching the 17-7 at halftime. The Bills were beating the Patriots. Where we got now it's 24-7. Oh, the game's over. Pretty much over. 3:29 left to go in the fourth quarter. Bills are up 24-7. Patriots be 6-6. Bills be 9-3. All right. Well, that answered that question. Okay. But as I said, Von Miller's good friend has been on the IR. So apparently he'll be out. He'll be back, okay, before the end of the season. But I mean, his good friend is on IR, right, on the Bills, right? So it'll be interesting to see how that impacts Beckham's desire to play for Buffalo, which is going to be cold, right? Which may have a good team, but doesn't have the national exposure or appeal of the Cowboys or the Giants. The primary factor in Beckham's decision is expected to be the strength of the contract offer, which is one reason why the Cowboys are the favorite to land him. Well, yeah, no, right? Jerry Jones has put a full court recruiting press and carries more salary cap space at the moment, $6.3 million, than the Giants do at $2.7, or any of Beckham's other known suitors. The 49ers, okay, have $6 million, right? Still seem like a possible sleeper. I mean, if they could get him, boy, I'll tell you, you got to put, that'll be a hell of a team. It's going to be a heck of a team, right? If possible sleeper if Odell Beckham Jr. leaves Dallas without a deal next week. Beckham and the Niners have flirted over the idea of a union before, and San Fran is a Super Bowl contender with the league's top defense and Christian McCaffrey added at the trade deadline. Absolutely. Giants have a chance, though, because New York is home, right? It's home. And he wants his next signing to set him up for the next chapter in his career. Seeking a multi-year contract is the way Beckham could acquire guaranteed money for next season from a cap-strapped team like the Giants or the Cowboys, while joining them immediately for this season's stretch run to try and help them win now. His health in these physical exams are rehabbing from a second torn left ACL. Second, okay? But what might be appealing to him, too, would be more like if the Giants were changing their turf on their field as well. He's going to be there with Mr. Mara, talking over, see what his feelings are, possibly. What are we doing with the turf? What's coming in here? What are we looking at? Are we looking at grass? Huh? Or are we looking at, maybe turf again? So be interesting to see. Shane could conceivably fit Beckham on a Giants cap strap roster this season by using incentives and a signing bonus money to kick cap hits into next season. Okay, so there's all kinds of way to finagle the money around to get him some money now, get money in his pockets right now to keep him happy, and also set him up with some type of a deal next year as well too. All right. So just because we only have $2.7 million, right, doesn't mean there's no, we can't afford him. We can afford him. Okay. You only have to pay Beckham the prorated value of the contract he receives too. All right. In other words, if the Giants sign Beckham next Tuesday to a contract like the Cowboys, Michael Gallup at $11.5 million, just say, they'd only have to pay him the cash for the 5 remaining games, which would be $3.1 million. Okay, and could dramatically reduce the 2022 actual cap hit with the signing bonus money or incentives. Okay, which means you can get him the money, but you put it on possibly on next year salary cap, which the Giants would have quite a bit of. Okay, of course, it's difficult to imagine Shane paying Beckham given how tightly he has managed the Giants' finances and stuck to the plan of clearing the budget and the decks for the 2023 and beyond. So, they said, but also don't forget, it says in this article here, that Shane and the Giants were the most aggressive suitors for Denver Broncos Jerry Jeudy at the trade deadline when the receiver's name started floating around until the Broncos stopped listening. Okay. But also, do not discount the relationship that John Mara and Beckham have. Okay. And one more thing in this article, don't forget this is OBJ's true home. Okay, so he never had a problem. I don't believe with Mr. Mara. Okay, Mr. Mara is going to be there. Okay, I'm sure he looks up to him. Okay, this is home, and I mean, he's going to. I mean, he'll be king. I mean, I don't know if we're going to sign him or not or anything, but the place would be going freaking bananas. Okay, first time he comes out of the huddle, if he has that number 13 on his back out there, the place would be going freaking crazy. Okay, now is he gonna, if the Giants were to sign him, does that mean we're going to the Super Bowl? No, I think we still, I think there's better teams out there. I hate saying it, unfortunately, but it would certainly help. But the nice thing would be that we're not, if we were to sign him, we're not signing him for this week. I'm sorry, just for this year. Sign up for this year and at least next year. Okay. Now, next year, if we get him signed, if maybe we can bring back Saquon. I don't know what we're doing as far as with Daniel Jones or the quarterback situation. Okay. But we sign some of our players, hopefully maybe like Julian Love. We'll have to see what Darius Slayton does. Okay. But, give Shane another draft, get another good draft class in. It's also forget, I don't want to say darn near half, but how many guys from our draft class from this year are out for the whole season? Right? Just imagine if we could get these guys back. I think there's like 4 guys out for the whole season in this year's draft class, right? And then all the picks we're going to get next year, okay, as well, right? So, it certainly would help. Hopefully we'll be getting a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. Now, we're going to be legitimate Super Bowl contenders next year, but we should be trending in the right direction. Okay. So you'll have to wind up waiting and say, they don't know if they wind up signing them. Right. But, all right. And we got injury report here. Now, I'll tell you what, simply amazing. The thing that kind of surprised me with this injury report, all right, is that the Commanders, okay, haven't even had a bye week yet. Okay, that comes after this week. The Commanders play the Giants. They have a bye week, and then they come back from the bye week, and then they play, the Giants. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Commanders have played, right, 12 games, 7-5. Right. This will be their 13th game. They only have 7 guys listed. Okay. Let's see. Trey Turner, he did not participate. Okay, he's got a knee and ankle. Antonio Gibson, he did not participate in practice on Thursday. He's a running back. He hit probably his foot. Tyler Larson, the center, he was limited in practice, shoulder. Logan Thomas, he had a rib. He's limited. Chase Young, he may or may not come back. They have a couple other guys, but they only have 7 guys, okay, listed. And one of them, Chase Young, who's coming back. He will either be back this weekend or when they come back from their bye week, okay? But the Giants have, I think it's 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold on, 11, 12. No, 13, 14. Giants got 16 guys, and they've had a bye week. More than double, and the Giants have had a bye week, right? Brightwell, Zudu, Adoree Jackson, Richie James, Shane Lemieux, Daniel Bellinger, Dane Belton, Carter Coughlin, John Feliciano, Cordell Flott, Darnay Holmes, Fabian Moreau, Leonard Williams, Evan Neal, Tyree Phillips, Darius Slayton. Darn near half the team, right? And we had a bye week, right? And we still have, half the team injured. Simply amazing. Of course, now, all these guys are not out. Okay, they're just, some of them were just limited in practice. All right, but I'll tell you what. Every time we play another opponent, the Giants have far more guys injured. Far more. guys injured. I can't remember the last time I looked at the injury report and the other team had more guys injured than the Giants. I can't remember. Simply amazing. All right, so we got a few storylines here to go over. Okay, for we take this in for a landing and wrap this up here. Okay, according to outside linebacker Kayvon Thibodeau, such are the words that the season starts now. Okay, according to Kayvon Thibodeau, such are the words that New York Giants coach Brian Daboll told the players Monday when they returned from a mini bye week, hopefully refreshed, healthier. We got 16 guys on the injury list, and we're going to go. It's been a long and emotional season for the Giants. This was supposed to be a pure rebuild year in which expectations were minimal, but apparently no one remembered to tell the players and the coaches that. The Giants sit at 7-4, are still very much in the thick of a postseason hunt. They will host a red-hot Washington Commanders team on Sunday who are 7-5 and have won 6 of their last 7. And these last remaining weeks of the 2022 campaign, by the way, how nice it is to be talking about meaningful football, right? This late in the season. We're actually in December, and we're talking about meaningful football. We're talking about meaningful football, and we're actually talking about a Giants team that actually has a winning record in December, right? This team lacks in many areas on paper, yet has found a way to get it done and remain competitive. Can they keep it up, or will they, second half of the season, which has seen the Giants lose 3 out of the last 4, fall apart? Well, it's because the first half of the season is when the Giants had their easier schedule, okay? This back end, this last half of the schedule is tough, very tough. Okay. Here are a few other key storylines to watch for this week ahead. Welcome back. Giants took advantage of the mini bye week to get rested and, more importantly, get healthier. They've designated 3 guys, Azeez Ojulari, Ben Bredesen, and Tony Jefferson, to return from the IR. We're also hoping to have offensive tackle Evan Neal and tight end Daniel Bellinger back for the upcoming crucial stretch of games. It's still early in the week to know who will be ready to go by Sunday, so keep an eye on the practice participation reports that start coming out on Wednesday for clues. However, the Giants can use every one of those guys in some capacity. Center of attention. Last week against Dallas, Nick Gates made his triumphant return to the starting lineup, playing the position he had firmly secured before a horrific leg injury threatened his career. But when he got injured, he was playing guard, okay, because he stepped in for Shane Lemieux, who got injured in week 1. Okay, so in week 2, Nick Gates stepped in at left guard for him, and that's when he got bull rushed, and that's when he fell back and he got injured and all and everything. So he was playing guard when he got injured, not center. Right? Let's see. But Nick Gates has a way of seizing onto things, or in most cases, opponents, and doesn't let up until the bitter end. And it certainly wouldn't be surprising if Gates' latest seizure is that of the starting center position, previously held by John Feliciano. Going to be interesting to see. I mean, Gates did very, very well against the Cowboys. Does Feliciano coming back, move Gates to guard, put Feliciano at center? Going to be, this Washington Commanders defensive line is not something to fool around with. I'll tell you what. Per Pro Football Focus, Gates graded an all-time career high of 82.4, played the position with physicality that had not always been there. Moreover, the entire offensive line operation seemed to suffer no dropbacks with him running things. And there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, with Gates in there, and yes, it's only a 1-game sample size, but it's definitely enough. The offensive line didn't look all that broke to us to warrant putting Feliciano back in there and putting Gates back to the jumbo tight end duty, or in this case, quite possibly, the left guard position. So we're going to have to interesting to see there. They also have get running again. Opposing defenses have always known that the Giants' offense begins with Saquon Barkley. Despite this knowledge, most teams either didn't have the resources to slow the Giants down or the right game plan to do so. That is until recently. Seattle Seahawks, the Lions, and the Cowboys have made Barkley a non-factor. And with the NFL being a copycat league, future opponents are certain to take note of what those teams did to slow down Barkley and the Giants. Oh, yeah. Question. While there are things from a schematic perspective the Giants can try, a big key could lie in the return of a certain personnel from the injury list, namely Ben Bredeson and Bellinger. Both players were injured in Week 7, a week before the Seahawks became the first of several teams to slow down the Giants' running game. So let's not forget, we might have Bellinger, right? We have maybe possibly Bredeson, right? And we're going to get Evan Neal back as well, too. Okay, so we're going to get some good blockers back. Coincidence. Bellinger and Bredeson currently hold Pro Football Focus's run blocking grades of 63 and 62, respectively, putting them in the top half of the Giants' best run blockers on offense. Both were effective in climbing to the second level, where it seems the Giants are suddenly having trouble finding space, which is, huge, right? But the Commanders, right, the team currently ranked 8th against the run, 108.4 rushing yards allowed per game. So, I mean, they're stout against the run, right? And we also have another storyline. Going deep. No decision on free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham won't be made this week, as according to multiple reports. He's not even due to meet with the Giants until Thursday, which is today, obviously. And then he'll be there Friday, too. While a reunion isn't likely given multiple factors, the mere presence of a receiver in the building exploring a reunion is a stark reminder of what the Giants' current receiving group has struggled to achieve this year. That would be making explosive plays. The Giants are currently last in the NFL in plays of 20 yards or more, with 19. They're last. You don't know. I forgot what the stat was. There's a stat. If you have on a drive, if you have a play that is 20 yards or more, your chances of scoring a touchdown go up exponentially. It's amazing, right? It's so difficult to dink and dunk your way down the field for a touchdown, as we've seen with the Giants, okay? And they're dead last in plays of 20 yards or more. And they have just 4 plays of over 40 yards or more. The most recent being wide receiver Darius Slayton's 44-yard catch against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Giants quarterback Daniel Jones has attempted 15 deep passes of 20-plus yards, completing 6 of them. 2 touchdown throws have come on deep ball, a strength of his. The problem, though, is between the inconsistency in pass protection and the receiver's inability to separate consistently. Yeah, I mean, that's because when you're going deep, you got to pass protect. And the Giants have had have had times where they've had problems protecting the passer. You need time. Not only that, but as I said, you need separation, something the Giants don't do as well too. The thing that kind of, I don't know, is that you got a guy you're paying $18 million a year for on the sideline drinking Kool-Aid, okay, when you don't need separation with him. You say, Kenny, you're going to, on this play, you're lining up on the right side of the formation, okay? When we snap the ball, you just run straight ahead, okay? We don't care if you get any separation. We don't care if there's 7 guys on you. You're going to get 30, 40 yards downfield. Daniel Jones is going to look your direction. He's just going to throw the ball up. What you going to do? You're going to just jump up. You're going to come down with the ball, either in the end zone or you're going to come down with it, and we're going to get ourselves first down. I don't know why they're not doing that. I guess that's not the Kafka / Dayball, what they want to do. I guess I don't want to, with what the Giants have, they want higher percentage. I guess I don't seem to want to take any shots down the field. I mean, you don't always need, as you've seen, sometimes you just don't need, a lot of separation to throw something down deep. But I guess that, I guess what they're thinking is that with the guys they got, they're just trying to keep things, I guess, high percentage. I guess is the word we're looking for. Okay. If we're going to throw a pass, we're going to have a high percentage of completing it. Okay. So, but I just don't know why, why they're not doing that with Kenny Golladay, but it is what it is. But his career is, we're 7-4, right? We got 6 games left in the, now, plus or minus, I have no idea if we're going to have any playoff games, but he has his Giants career has 6 games left in it, plus or minus maybe a playoff game, and then he'll be gone. Okay. Now, this is huge. Playoff implications. Going to the current NFL playoff picks, the Giants are 6th and the Commanders are 7th. So basically, every team in the NFC East is going to make the playoffs right now. Okay. With the Giants having been swept by the Cowboys, who now hold the head-to-head tiebreaker on division rivals, the Giants simply can't afford to let Washington do the same. The Giants need to, at a minimum, split the series with the Commanders. Yes. Who, by the way, see the Giants again after their week 15. Which means that the Commanders will be playing the Giants in back-to-back games. The Giants, meanwhile, have what should be a slugfest against the Eagles at home, a game that could potentially be flexed to Sunday night, making things even more challenging for a team that's fighting to hold on to a postseason berth. There is another reason why the Giants will want to win the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Commanders. The second tiebreaker among teams in the same division is division record. Right now, the Giants are 0-2 in the division games, with both losses coming against the Cowboys. The Commanders are 1-2, okay, having split with the Eagles and losing one to the Cowboys. If the Giants somehow lose both games to the Commanders and their game to the Eagles that is sandwiched in between, they can probably forget about a postseason berth. So, I mean, it's huge. Really, really huge. I mean, the Giants have a hard time beating the Eagles. Period. We beat them last year 13-7. Okay. But go back, whatever. The last, 15, I forgot what the numbers are. You go back the last 15, 20 games or whatever against the Eagles, you can't beat them. Same thing with the Cowboys. Have a hard time beating them. Right? Don't matter where it is. It doesn't matter if it's here or in Philly. Have a hard time beating them. I mean, I don't remember last time we beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. Right? No idea. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, if we lose to the Commanders here, okay, and then we wind up losing to them again, I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, because you got to win some games. I mean, just because we're 7-4 doesn't mean we're in the playoffs. No, we got to win a few more games. We got to win at least 2 more games. I mean, we have a hard time beating the Eagles. There's 2 games. If we lose both to the Commanders, all right, there's 4 losses. We got to play the Vikings. They've only lost 2, okay? And then we got to play the Colts, okay? So, I mean, if we win 1 more game, we win 2 more games, we go 9-8. That still doesn't make you a lock for the playoffs. If the Giants could somehow win 3 games, okay, out of their the last 6, okay, they would be 10-7. They would be in the playoffs. But, it's like, where are they going to get the 3 wins from? So, if they're going to get a win, I mean, obviously, one of the wins would have been nice, would have been a couple weeks ago against the Detroit Lions when you have one of the worst teams in the NFL coming in. You're at home, right? And the Lions just came in and just straight up bitch slapped the Giants. It's like, I thought like I saw seeing like Joe Judge. Is that Joe Judge on the sideline? I mean, who's coaching this team? What's going on? Why are we at home losing? It was 31-12 at one point. Why are we losing by like almost 20 points at home in the fourth quarter to a crappy team? Is it Joe? Is that Joe? Pat Shermer? Is that Joe? Who's on the sideline? That's what it felt like, right? So, I mean, this game here, okay, huge, huge to say the least. I mean, especially for the Giants as far as playoff implications. Okay. Well, guys, it's been 44 minutes. I've been shooting my mouth off. Anybody spent any time at all paying any attention to this, watching this from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Or anybody spends any time at all watching a replay of this, once again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And as always, guys, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.